All right, Squid Boys, it's game time. I have an alliance. Here you can see Peru and Bolivia and myself. The second coalition is North Brazil and South Brazil. And then Argentina and Chile are in the south. So we got 3, you got 2, and you got 2. Now, I was going to attack tomorrow because I'll have an artillery that's made here. It's going to come up north, attack the north section of Brazil. But North Brazil turned into an AI. Don't know why I just caught that, because day changes in 2 hours and a half. I like attacking AIs, and artillery isn't going to do much. So I'm probably going to start the attack and hit North Brazil now. So what is the plan? So his ally is South Brazil. You can see I have defenses here. And I'm going to just hold the line. I have forts. And up here, I have a massive army. Massive relative to everyone else. So I'm going to go up here, hit his split up forces, go down the coast, and just kind of just run around and have fun down here. That is going to be the plan. Artillery isn't going to be helpful, so I am going to start this at day change, so 2.5 hours. All right, so I have moved in and taken ground. As this AI, human player turned AI, reacts to my attack, I am also reorganizing to intercept the AI's troop movement. Luckily, they have a huge distance, so I am moving troops to counteract it. I'd rather kill their units and not take as much ground when I know how the AI works. My allies, on the other hand, have decided to invade Argentina. So far, the other Brazil, South Brazil, hasn't had any movement. It will be interesting to see how he reacts in the coming days as I move forward through North Brazil, because I'm going to kill a lot of North Brazil's army, playing defense, getting to these strategic locations that they're moving into attack before they do. It's the next day. Here at the newspaper, you could see I've lost 27,000 men. He's lost 131. Things are going to plan. I'm now pushing, taking land, finishing off resistance, and I'm going to take over North Brazil. And luckily, when I do that, I only have 2 new borders to defend against South Brazil. South Brazil has made no movement. With my allies front, they made gains. You can see that they took right here. And they still have a lot of troops, which is great. A little check mark. A little smiley face. And we're happy. And they're going south. And their opponents, who are active, aren't doing much. There's just something about an attack that you're not ready for. And I think this guy just wasn't ready, because he should be consolidating his troops to his capital instead of just sitting there and taking it. So I've won the game. I took out the opponent who turned into an AI. You can see here I've taken this area. I was defending here and here against his coalition member. His coalition member almost attacked me here, but then he backed off and went back home. While my allies successfully took over Argentina and Chile. This was uneventful, and I'm going to turn this into a review of this map. So this is a special event map. This is something that only happens periodically. You'll get a notification. You'll see it in the event page for it to show up. You can't just randomly play this map. And this map has flaws and it has some strengths. And I'm going to go through them all. So let's go over the first part. You need to join a coalition. There are 10 players in this map. That's not a lot. A coalition has 3 members. Someone's the odd man out. And honestly, like I was actually in the worst spot. I was surrounded by 6 other members. I was surrounded by 6 people. And I only won because of my good looks and my ability to join a coalition. Now, when you join a coalition, you also need to remember you want to make sure you're getting the best people. So, number 1, are they active? Number 2, are they building correctly? If they're building correctly and they're active, those are the people you want. If those people don't exist, you want to pick an overbuilder. That's fine. Part number 2, resources are scarce. In this map, the oil, energy, very scarce. The only double resource that I took was this double coal. And I took it after I took Brazil. I think everyone almost starts with a wood and a food double resource. I'm sure there's exceptions down south. But energy is very scarce. Actually, let me check down south. Yeah, so there's double coal here. Not a lot, though. Energy is scarce. That's another thing you have to remember. What does that mean, though? So energy is scarce. Who cares? Well, so energy being scarce means you need to not build that many railroads. You need to build railroads on energy provinces here. I have one in coal. I have one in oil. I splurged and got one on the double resources because I'm a resource maniac. But that may not be something you need to do. But it's all about building your build order, and you have to come up with that with yourself. Harbors are great, though. I was a landlocked country, so I hardly got any harbors. Harbors would be great, too. But yeah, resources are scarce. You're not going to be building a lot. I finished the game on day 18. Didn't have a lot going on. 300 infantry, 5 artillery, 2 balloons, 17 cavalry, and 2 armored cars. And I'm pretty sure I didn't lose anything but infantry. So I literally, for 18 days, just built that, which is pretty bad. But so did my opponent. So just keep that in mind if you choose to play this map. Do not really be conservative with your resources. Now, following up on this is negative expansion penalty is extremely high. So here you can see my negative expansion penalty is negative 19. And I only have 36 provinces. That's really bad. If you invade someone, you need the resources to industrialize it. And you'll need to build harbors. You can see I'm building a harbor here. There's harbors here. There's harbors here. There's harbors here. Harbor, 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 harbor. Why did I choose a harbor? Because a harbor, compared to a railroad, has no upkeep. It's expensive, 10,000 wood, but you get that extra resources. You get the morale development, which will contradict and go against the negative expansion. Where a railroad will do the same thing, all things a little different, but you have a daily upkeep of what? Energy, coal. We can't do that. That also will lead me to my next point, the stock market. Stock market won't be your friends. The smaller the map, the more expensive resources will be. It's just obscene to buy food at 26.6. It's not good. You don't want to buy wood at 30. So you got to realize that resources are going to be extra expensive on this type of map. Second to last point is it's a very slow map. Not a lot happens. You will need to Be strategic in what you do. The smallest thing will ruin you. You got to play it right. You got to play it safe. You can't just randomly invade another country. You need a coalition, and you need to see who's the right target to attack. You need to try to coordinate with your allies, like I did with Peru here before I started recording. And you have to just play it very, very slow. Just pretend it's a bunch of poor countries shooting it up. Not a lot's going to happen. And it'll be taking one province could be a game changer in this type of map compared to a 100-player map. Now let's get to the last point. This is, what do you need to build? So going back to what I've built, here, I've shown you. You want to build 2 armored cars, because that's what you should do in any game setup. You want armored cars for speed. They leave a province empty or with 1 little infantry, preferably none. You send an army car to take it while your main force follows right behind. The armor car takes it, you get that morale movement. That's win. That's doing a little World War I blitzkrieg. That's why you want armor cars. Armor cars are also great for defense. You will never build a navy or an airplane, a bomber, a fighter in this game. Now, let's go back. We got armor cars out of the way. You want a couple balloons? You should always start the game building 2 armored cars and 2 balloons. And then build more as you need them. Honestly, I would always just stick with 2 armored cars. But balloons could be for various reasons, just because you need to see that specific location. And you'll figure that out as you play with 2 balloons. You'll be like, wow, I wish I had a 3rd one. And do that for every game. Now, last things, cavalry and artillery. And that's all you need to be spamming. After you get out the initial armored car and balloons, all you're doing is spending your resources on cavalry and artillery. So what does that look like? So I go to the double resources because, again, you need to watch the masterclass. You only need to be building fancy buildings in double resources. Here I have double food. Here I have double steel. You can see I have 5 buildings here, 5 buildings here. Let's click a single resource province. There's only 2 buildings. And honestly, if I didn't need to build that fort, it would just be 1 building. All unit producing, excluding the recruitment office, are built in a double resource. We have barracks, we have workshops, and we have factories. All you need to be doing is building cavalry, building artillery. And if you do that, you'll actually be better than the majority of the players. So you could actually turtle and you'll win as long as you're not being double teamed. That's how I beat the other Brazil faction. He wasn't producing. He didn't have anything here. He had just recruitment offices. He built workshops in random places because there's a myth that workshops actually produce more units, but they don't, because let's look at the workshop, because I actually didn't cover this myth before. So a workshop does unit production speed bonus 100%. Here's unit production. Here's recruitment. Here you could say unit recruitment. Infantry are not produced, they're recruited. And I know there's a distinction without a difference. Why is it cavalry produced and infantry recruited? I didn't make the game. I'm sorry they lied to you. But I'm glad I got that figured out. Would I overall recommend this game, actually? I would say the speed is normal. It's not an expedited 4, 10, 20 speed. And that's fine, but I do like early game fights, but I really don't like this type of map. It's not personally for me. I spent 18 days on this map. It wasn't really hard 18 days. You know, I look at a couple minutes, oh, nothing's happening. Move over here, move over there. But it's not a great conquest. Like, let me just quickly show you a great conquest. All right. So this is a great conquest. You can see here I'm South Dakota. You can see here I have 92 provinces. You could see here on the newspaper I have 342 points. I haven't paid any gold. I have no special medallion here. Number 2, who's that? South Mexico, 176 points. Let's look at South Mexico. South Mexico has 57 provinces. So I have a lot more than him. And what am I doing? I'm about to take them all. You know what? Let's actually talk about how to make this map better. There's coalitions, and there's 3 members to a coalition, and there's 10 players on the map. So first of all, you're screwing a player if everyone was competent. One positive to this map is there's a level requirement. You have to be over level 6, so you're not going to get the random person, but still a level 6 player, they actually need to work on the level system because the level should be based on your wins too and your activity in the game. But that's a total digression. The level system is a positive, but how to make this better? You want to make the coalition members equal to the amount of people playing. You also probably want to expand the map. You want to add more provinces. You want more territory. You want more AI countries in the middle, so you don't feel completely surrounded by humans and only a small amount of humans. 10. That could be a very big positive. And yeah, that's what it is. It has potential. They need to fix things. They need to work on it. They literally just probably cut off the 100-player map. And it was like, here you go. Congratulations. You're playing a game. But yeah, I would say for all the conflicts that happened in this one fight, there wasn't a whole lot happening. Argentina and Peru and Bolivia were the biggest fights. And once they broke through the first line, Argentina just ran away. He just ran down here, and it was dumb. But yeah, that's it. I won. I did do strategy in this game, but the cards were just in my favor. And once the coalitions were set up, it's really just decided already. Okay, I'll talk to you later, Squid Boys.
A unique and lesser-known aspect of World War I, the involvement of squids in the trenches. These amazing creatures disrupted the monotony of trench warfare, distracting soldiers and providing occasional amusement amidst the horrors of battle.